So you guys wanted a part 2, so here we go. Part 2 of the Evil Dead trailer breakdown. So it turns out that there's a second trailer that I was not aware of. So thank you to all of you for telling me about it this morning. You guys are the ones that brought it up. I looked it up on YouTube and sure enough, there it is, a brand new trailer that has new scenes that I did not know they released. So that's what I'm going to cover in this video. You guys want me to spoil everything and to say everything I know. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in this video. However, I'm only going to cover the first half of the trailer because that's where all the new stuff is. The second half of the trailer, we already discussed it yesterday. But in this video, I'm going to discuss the 2 scenes that this new trailer shows. And that's the dinner scene with the family, which is not a very nice dinner, as you can tell from the tone of the scene on the trailer. And also, I'm going to discuss the car crash, the one that Will has that causes him to die. So let's go ahead and dive into those. Okay, so the trailer starts with a shot of the house once again. By the way, you guys haven't told me who owns this house. So if you know from the Evil Dead universe, and especially the Ash vs. Evil Dead series, who owns the house and how they connect to the Evil Dead universe, please let me know. I would love to know in the comments below. And next we have a shot of Will and Alice on their wedding day. This is like a home video. It looks really sweet, really romantic. They're under the gazebo that later on in the trailer you see burning up in flames, which that gives you a hint of whose hand you see grabbing the gazebo and bursting it into flames. Hint, hint, I'm telling you who it is. But next we get a shot of Alice, very sad, because she's watching that video. And the reason why she's sad is because she's very conflicted. Number 1, that's her husband. She clearly loved him at some point. Number 2, she feels a little bit guilty because part of the reason why he had a car accident is because that night she got into a fight with him. And being the narcissist that he is, he blamed her for what happened in that fight, which was not at all her fault. And she kind of blames herself that he's dead. But at the same time, she has guilt for it because she's also happy that he kind of died, because I don't think she felt like she had another escape from him unless he died. So even though she's happy that he's gone, she's also sad because she shouldn't feel happy about it. So she's guilty. There's a lot of complexities going on with what she's feeling watching those videos. She's also a little bit pissed off because the family keeps putting Will in this pedestal of being a brilliant, wonderful, really good son, and she's like, you have no idea how terrible he is. And that's something that comes out later in the trailer as well. There you see Mom Susan and Grandma Polly, so happy watching the video. There you see Joseph, he's the one who's putting the video on the TV. And he's also watching this video feeling a little bit of guilt because the reason why the fight started between Alice and Will, it kind of has to do with him too. Because Will was kind of like antagonizing and poking at Joseph at the nightclub that Will owns. And it was Joseph's birthday. And for some reason, Will started making comments like, oh, I know you like my girlfriend, my wife. And it kind of got awkward for a moment. And Alice, being so nice, she was defending Joseph. And Will didn't like that. He kind of took it more like, see, she is into you. Like, you're my wife. How can you be into my brother? It got really uncomfortable. Alice also gave Joseph a really nice gift for his birthday. He wants to be a writer, so she gave him a pen that I thought he would use later on in the story to maybe write something in the Book of the Dead, and it will be a very important piece or artifact that would have some sort of importance to the story. Turns out it wasn't anything, which kind of pissed me off because why make it a big deal, that pen? But anyways, that's the reason why they got into a fight. And then I believe, if I remember correctly, Will ended up hitting Alice, and that's how he left the party in his car, drunk and speeding, and then he got into a car accident. All right, so I gave you a little bit more than I should, but there's part of the movie. That's actually how the movie starts. So then now we have a picture of the family at the home having a dinner. That's an ugly home, in my opinion. They make this family seem like they have money or like they are I guess, wealthy or successful, but the way the house looks and feels does not give to me successful. But anyways, that's the home that they are. They're watching the video right there at the dinner table. And at that point, the father, Edgar, he's already a little bit going cuckoo. He's been acting weird since the funeral. Then we get a shot of Will inside the car, mad, pissed off, upset, speeding. He's kind of upset that I believe Alice stood up to him, and then Thea and Joseph also stood up to him. So he's a little bit like in his feelings. He kind of feels like his ego was bruised, and he's going really fast. There's the car speeding. And then we jump to a picture of Alice looking at Edgar. Unfortunately, she got the bad luck of having to sit next to him during the dinner table. And he is asking her, where's the ring, Alice? Where's your ring? And she's not wearing the wedding ring, which really pisses off the family. And the reason why she's not wearing it, again, is because even though she loved Will, she is also so happy to not have to be his wife anymore. She kind of feels like she's free to do what she wants. But since she's at their home, she should have worn it just to like show face and not get in trouble. But she really wanted to be rebellious because she was done. So she didn't wear it. And there she is looking at a picture of them together. Beautiful picture under the gazebo. And that's when she puts the wedding ring down next to her cigarettes. The cigarettes are important in this film. She loves to smoke and she has a lighter. And the next picture is Susan telling and asking Alice, where's your ring, Alice? You didn't wear it? And then the next picture is a picture of the road that Will is driving on, speeding, and right in front of him, you see a woman over there. That's Jessica, the deadite from Evil Dead Rise. So that same day, that's when she killed those two guys on the boat, the ones that I told you about. That's how the movie actually starts, the opening scene. And then out of nowhere, now she's in the street. So she left the water finally, which again, it makes you wonder, why was she in the water since Evil Dead Rise to wait for those two guys and then leave the water? It's kind of weird. But anyways, I digress. So now she's in front of the car. He sees her, he freaks out, opens his eyes wide, and he, boom, hits her really hard. He loses control of the car goes flying, rolls all over the place, and boom, he lands really badly. He is now upside down. You could tell that he is really hurt, he's struggling, and the car just comes to an end right there. And next, the trailer jumps to a scene, again at the dinner table. You see a hand grabbing the knife. That's Edgar grabbing the knife. He hasn't been acting like himself the whole day. Alice can tell that he's acting a little bit unhinged. She actually grabbed a fork and she has it on her lap because she's getting nervous. She can tell that he's not well and she's kind of getting prepared in case he does something, she can like react. At the same time, Susan is asking her those questions of, where's the ring? Why wouldn't you wear your ring? And she's kind of like freaking out Alice because she already doesn't fit in with that family. They already don't like her because they thought she was a gold digger and she was only with him because of the money and his success. So there's a lot of going on in this dinner table about all of their relationships and their dynamics. And poor Alice just keeps getting the brunt of it. They don't like her and she's always on the defensive, even though she's doing everything she can to be the good person here. She went to a funeral of an ex-husband that she does not want to remember anymore. She wanted to be nice to the family and show up, so she kind of forced herself, and yet the family keeps treating her like shit. She feels like she's stuck and she can never win. There you see Grandma Polly with her dentures coming out. She's putting them back in with the spoon, very Evil Dead. And in this next shot, you see Alice and she says, please, can we do this another day? Because Susan keeps interrogating her, where's your ring? But Alice doesn't want to say, I'm not wearing it because I hated your son because he used to be abusive to me. And she doesn't want to say that because obviously he just died. It was the day of his funeral. She doesn't want to be mean to the family, even though they're super mean to her, which is a bad quality to have. Sometimes you cannot be the nice person all the time. Be a dick if you have to. And my advice to Alice in this film would be, girl, get the hell out of there. Say fuck you. give them the finger and run away, because otherwise she would not have gone through everything that she did. She was way too nice. However, she did act and do what my mother taught me to do. I would do the same thing. I would have stayed and be nice. And there you see Joseph scared out of his pants because he can tell that Edgar is acting weird. He's afraid of Edgar, and he also knows that Will was abusive to Alice. So even though Edgar is mad at Alice and Susan is mad at Alice, he kind of knows the truth, but he doesn't speak up because he's also afraid to say that to his parents. And then right there we see Thea also scared because she also knows. And by the way, thank you for telling me what her name actually is pronounced like. So now I know, Luciani. I'm actually from Puerto Rico. I speak Spanish, so Luciani sounds more like a name that I can say better. So thank you for correcting me. And now I will always remember that her name is Luciani Buchanan. That's a beautiful name, by the way. And she looks gorgeous in this picture, and she also looks terrified. And that's Edgar grabbing a corkscrew. So we're thinking, oh my God, he's about to stab Alice. Shit is gonna go down. So we are nervous for Alice, but we also know that she has the fork so that she can defend herself. What the family doesn't know that we do is that he's already possessed. We already saw the scene when he got possessed, and that happened right before the dinner when they were at the funeral. So Edgar went down to the room where they kept the casket, where they kept Will inside the casket, and that's where he got possessed. Something jumped on him and took over him, and it was a quick scene, but it basically tells us, oh no, this guy just got possessed. And then here we see Will's car turned upside down, and we see the windows, boom, popping, right? Because Jessica, the deadite, the demon, she went over to him when he was upside down. She goes through the glass, yells really loud, everything pops, all the glass pops, and she explodes the car into flames. And I'll show you that later on when they show it. Now we go back to Edgar and look at him. He's drooling. He looks like he has rabies, like he's just a rabid animal, right? And you know who he reminds me of, his performance? He reminds me of the father / the sheriff from Pet Sematary 2. He kind of acts like that. Very psychotic, demented. He laughs a lot when he's doing crazy stuff. Like, he has that vibe going on. I wonder if he watched Pet Sematary 2 to get ready for this role. It's very similar. And in that moment, he's looking up at Susan because Susan is saying something about Will. And she says, guys, please stop fighting. Will is watching from above. And then he turns to Susan and he goes, from above? And he shakes his head. And then he looks at Alice and he says, Will is not above, he's below. And he says that while he's holding the corkscrew. And do you know who he uses the corkscrew on? On this poor little guy. On the dog. And then all hell breaks loose. The entire family starts yelling and crying. Like, why would you do that? The poor dog. And that's how they end up in the car sequence that I told you about. They grab the dog. They go to the car to drive the dog to the vet. And in that car is where all shit happens. And they have to come back to the house. And if you've seen on the other trailers, you see a dog attacking Alice. That's the same dog. He kills the dog, but the dog comes back to life, all possessed, and attacks Alice later on in the film. But she manages to escape because she stabs the dog in that shot with a knife. That's really important. I told you I wouldn't tell you what it was, but it's a knife. She was looking the entire movie for a knife that apparently can kill deadites. And the grandfather who has the journal has it all written in that journal, how that knife works. And they have to look for it. They don't know where the knife is the entire movie. And when she realizes that she needs it in order to survive what's going on, she goes looking for it around the house. And she finally finds it right at the end. And that's how she's able to kill Joseph, kill the dog, and then everybody else. And like I told you, also Will. Will is the main villain. He's the guy that you see from the door coming out like a figure all burnt up. That's Will. So lastly, this is the shot of Will burning up into flames. And it's kind of funny that Jessica did this to him. And after she did that, she disappears. We never know of Jessica anymore. We don't know what happened to her. Did she disappear? Did she go somewhere else? We don't really know. Is she the one possessing all of them? I don't really know, to be honest, but that's what happens. So that's my breakdown of the second trailer for Evil Dead Burn. Thank you so much for requesting this video. Please go ahead and comment all you want in the section below so that we can go ahead and discuss and have fun discussing this movie. Again, thank you for watching and supporting my channel. And until my next video, make sure you keep it frank.